Alright team, so we're back with some Final Fantasy VII Remake content, and we just got a lot of screenshots that give us a ton of information for the game, which is pretty crazy. Like, we're talking summons, side quests, character abilities, weapons, materia. So we're talking quite a bit of stuff, but it's pretty crazy because the theme song trailer, which y'all are watching in the background of this video, came out not even 2 weeks ago. We're just shy, 1 day from 2 weeks old. And we're getting all these screenshots to give us even more information about the game. Like, it seems like they're definitely ramping up, like, marketing the game and stuff. But of course, let's hop right into the screenshots, talk about them, break them down, etc. So whenever you first come over to the PlayStation article, the first thing you're going to see is Cloud with the nail bat. It's a pretty popular, sort of iconic weapon from the original game because it stands out. Every other weapon Cloud has in Final Fantasy VII is a sword. This is the one non-sword weapon that he has. It's really not even that good of a weapon. At the time you get it in-game, the power will be good for you, but it has no materia slots, so it's really not that useful. So I'm curious how they're going to handle it with the remake if it's still going to have 0 materia slots. We've also known it as a weapon in-game for a bit now with this screenshot we got a while back. Also, when it comes to the image itself, they appear to be in the Midgar sewers given the backdrop, and the enemy itself, this Caesar enemy, it's like the only crab-like enemy I could see in the game, and you find it inside the Midgar sewers. We get a couple of Red 13 images, nothing really new, but the description they have for him says, "What is Red 13? As he himself says, I am that which you see before you, nothing more. He may look like a beast with his red fur, sharp fangs, and tail of flames, but Red 13 is as eloquent as any human. He has been captured by Shinra for use as a test subject, and is being held in Hojo's scientific facility." Speaking of the sinister scientist, and then it rolls into some Hojo images. Something I want to touch on really quickly, and I may be looking too much into it, is them saying that he's in Hojo's scientific facility as opposed to like his lab in the Shinra HQ. It sounds to me like it's almost a different location, a different building altogether, and this is something we talked about a long time ago, long before we ever got the Red 13 reveal, sometime last year, about the possibility of running into Red 13 at a different location earlier in the game, because obviously the Shinra HQ, the Shinra building is going to be at or near the end of the game. Even if they put stuff after it, you're still pretty close to the end of the game. That's a weird place to get another character. But if we get him earlier in the game, that might add to the possibility of him being playable. I've seen some other people theorize on something similar. The Real Nanaki and Roymario in their trailer breakdown video, they talked about the possibility of Hojo moving the Genova experimentation to a completely different location than the Shinra HQ, something like the Sector 0 reactor. So again, I might be looking too much into it, but it is worth thinking about. We get a couple images of Hojo, nothing necessarily new, though the character render itself might be new. And the description they give us for Hojo says, "This enigmatic figure is the director of Shinra Electric Power Company's Research and Development Division. He creates various biological weapons for the company, and he's not bound by notions of morality. Hojo will not hesitate to take a life if his experiments demand it. In a previous collaborative role, he performed special surgery on soldiers to increase their physical strength, giving birth to the elite soldiers." We then get a couple images of Tifa using some of her abilities in battle. This first one right here is Whirling Uppercut. It says Tifa launches an enemy into the air with an upward strike. We then get a screenshot of Omni Strike, and the description says Tifa smacks into her foe with a powerful shoulder slam. We then get a couple screenshots of the Rise and Fall ability that says Tifa attacks with a series of brutal kicks and finishes with a powerful striking fist. Also, quick correction, what we just looked at were some of her basic attacks whenever she's fighting. What we're about to look at are her actual abilities that cost ATB gauges. So right here we have Tifa using the True Strike ability on Abzu. It doesn't say how many ATB gauges it takes, but the only description they have is Tifa's True Strike move hits the enemy in front of her with a swift attack. We next get a screenshot of Tifa doing some sort of a dive kick, and that's kind of all it is. They don't even give us a name of whatever this ability is. They say it's a dive kick. Also, the enemy she's fighting is some sort of a fish enemy, and looking through the entire enemy list from Final Fantasy VII, there's nothing that even remotely looks like a fish. There is a lot of sea creature looking enemies in Final Fantasy VII, but no fish. Possibly a new enemy. Onto some materia. So right here we have a picture of Aerith using the Regen ability, and the description reads, "Healing materia lets you use spells like Cure and Cura." In the screenshot above, we can see Aerith using Regen, a spell that will gradually heal its target for a while. So the healing materia should be the modern Restore materia, which before in the original game gave us Cure 1, Cure 2, Cure 3, and Regen. We then learn about a new materia called the Deadly Dodge materia that says, "The Deadly Dodge materia turns any attack made after evading an attack into a powerful melee strike. Any character can use it, not just Cloud." They say that any character can use this materia, and it gives you a powerful melee strike, so I wonder how that works with somebody like Barrett, who uses mostly ranged weapons. But it's nice to see that we're getting materia for the new gameplay mechanics that did not exist in the original game, such as dodging and rolling. On to probably my favorite bit of information from this article, side quests. We just talked about this the other day in one of my videos. I mentioned how we don't have any confirmation that there were side quests in the game, though we're pretty sure there would be. Now we have it, mercenary quests. The description says, Cloud can help out the many people across Midgar, including local merchants. These tasks are varied. He'll be asked to deal with anything from taking out troublesome monsters to finding lost cats. Love that. So a few things I want to point out from this screenshot. We're in chapter 3 at this point, Home Sweet Slum, which is, I like that the chapters have names. I think the entire chapter list, like, names leaked with the data mining. We have the names of the handful of available quests right here. Charlie's Report, Rat Problem, Nuisance in the Factory, and Lost Friends, which I'm assuming Lost Friends is the cat, Nuisance in the Factory is the Drakes. Rat Problem seems like a generic, like, go kill the monster questline, and then Charlie's Report is something we'll read about in just a minute. It also seems like you know ahead of time how many quests are available in either a new chapter or a new area, because you can see they have 4 out of 6 quests. There's 2 more quests they haven't found yet. And the last few things are the ability to track quests. That's good to know. Like, hopefully side questing will be a legitimate thing since you have the ability to follow certain side quests that you want to. And if you look at the top of the screenshot, you can see that you can tab over to a map. So hopefully that adds to the possibility of this being a pretty big game. The fact that you actually can reference a map. So right here we have a couple screenshots of the Nuisance in the Factory questline where Cloud has to go kill some drakes. It's just a kind of go kill the enemy questline. I know a lot of people are against the like fetch questing, go get this item, go kill this monster, but I'm happy to have anything to do besides the main story. So right here we have a couple screenshots of the Chadley's Report quest, and the description says, meet Chadley, a 15-year-old research trainee working under Professor Hojo. He's researching new types of materia and needs a little help from Cloud. You can collect battle report quests from Chadley in the Sector 7 slums. He'll ask you to achieve various requirements, such as making a certain number of enemies burst or use SS materia a certain number of times. Complete these tasks, and he'll develop more materia that you can buy. So we check out that first image we got. Some things worth pointing out are the icon above Chadley's head to let you know that there's a side quest available. You also see it on the minimap, but the minimap also shows you the direction of other side quests, or maybe just quests in general. We then have this image, which gives us a couple of the quests we get from Chadley, the Monster Bio Part 1, Magic Elements Part 1, the Stagger Effect Part 1 and 2. But the description of Monster Bio Part 1 says, the extreme conditions in which certain monsters thrive have provided them with unique curative abilities. My aim is to harness this skill in the form of materia. Assist enemies to provide further intel, and you see the reward you get is the auto-cure materia. Or at least the ability to buy that materia according to the description, but also that's the reveal of another new materia, a materia that auto-cures you. We then get some images and descriptions of the DLC summons, first one being Chocobo Chick. And people over on Twitter were roasting Chocobo Chick and Carbuncle big ass heads. But the description for Chocobo Chick says, the Chocobo Chick may look cute, but don't be fooled. Its magical attacks pack a serious punch. It's included when you pre-order any edition of the Final Fantasy VII Remake. We then have Carbuncle, and it says, a mystical creature with a ruby attached to its forehead. It uses this gem to bestow a variety of powers on its allies. You'll get this summon if you pre-order the Digital Deluxe Edition from PlayStation Store. We then have the living swastika himself, Cactuar, and it says, this vacant-faced creature can fire off thousands of needles at a time, and then it talks about being able to pre-order them. But it's nice to finally get some character renders of the summons, brief descriptions of what they do, and actually screenshots of them during gameplay. So here towards the end we have the environments, and it says, in Final Fantasy VII Remake, iconic locations from the original game have been recreated with amazing modern graphics. Not only that, there will be additional areas that you couldn't get to in the original. So as we kind of assumed anyway, they're going to expand on some of the original locations, but there will also be new ones, I'm sure. So first up, we get this image of the inside of a Mako reactor, and it's absolutely full of Mako. It's almost up to the damn platform, but the description reads, the Mako reactor sucks out Mako from the core of the planet. It's then turned into electricity or liquid gas for cities, though it's also used to produce materia and for other research. The Shinra Electric Power Company has a monopoly on the resource and has set up various Mako reactors across the world. However, some question the safety of this, and there have been confirmed cases of accidents in reactors at remote locations. So the reactors in remote locations could possibly refer to a few different ones, like the Corel reactor or the Mount Nobel reactor, but I think it's possibly the Gongaga reactor since that one actually got destroyed. And they're talking about accidents. We then have an image of the Corkscrew Tunnel, which is the tunnel that we're in whenever you're riding the train near the beginning of the game, where we're spiraling up and down the center of Midgar. I don't know if it had a name before, though. But the description says, the Corkscrew Tunnel connects the slum streets to the nicer living areas on top of Midgar's plates. The tunnel cools upwards in a giant corkscrew through the center of Midgar. Passengers on the train carriages are always checked for ID, and movement between cars is closely monitored. When an intruder is discovered, military-grade weapons are deployed and intruders are dealt with quickly. So of course the scanning for IDs is something that happened in the original game where we had to move from car to car as it's scanning, but also the deployment of the military-grade weapons when there's intruders is something we actually seen with the E3 trailer. And there you have it, my breakdown of the new screenshots that we got today. There was quite a bit. This was a longer video than I was expecting. Did not think it'd be going past the 10-minute mark, which I don't like to make longer videos, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Like I said previously, my favorite bit of info from this was the mercenary quest or the side questing that we have in the game. I love confirmation of that. There's actually like a window you can go to look at the quests you have available, track the quests you want to. It's just kind of crazy to me that we're getting another kind of big info dump so soon after we just got a brand new trailer that gave us a ton of information as well. I'm fine with seeing more things from the game as long as it's officially released by Square Enix. They want to show it to the public. If it's not something that got leaked or data mined, I'm cool with checking it out. I know a lot of people out there want to avoid seeing as much as possible for the game because they want to go in fresh, but obviously us here on the channel, we got to check out everything that's officially released. Anyways, my dudes, the video's long enough. I'm sure you're tired of hearing my voice, so let's just wrap it up. What was your favorite bit of information, favorite screenshot, things like that we got today? Leave your thoughts and more in the comment section below. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new and want to stay updated with more Final Fantasy VII Remake content. Turn on my notifications. Follow me on Twitter at dashingdavid. I'm a Discord. Links to my social networks are in the description and in the outro. Later, guys. Or at least less like a child, give me some